there, this is Tiffany. I am back again, and today I would like to talk to all of the projectors out there. And specifically, I want to speak about the idea of having a projector-friendly job, or what does work look like for a projector? But first, I have a disclaimer. So, I am not a projector energy type. So I don't have the lived experience that you have. So anything that I say can get pushed back or trumped by projectors who are actually living in that design, are experiencing that design, and are trying to navigate their design. The lens that I am speaking to you from is somebody who has been doing readings for many years now. I've had many conversations with projectors. So at any time, please feel free to ask questions. Please feel free to push back on me and say, no, I don't think that's right. Please feel free to think about how your energy works for you and let that trump anything that I'm saying right here, right now. Okay, first, projectors do not have a defined sacral energy center. And when the sacral energy center is white or open from a human design perspective, what that means is that that energy center is not generating energy, creating energy when the projector is doing things they love to do. There's a good side to this, meaning projectors can strategically leverage the sacral energy of people around them to get things done very efficiently. And there's a challenging aspect in that projectors may find that they require more rest. So for a projector, working and getting things done efficiently and effectively is just as important as getting enough quality rest time. In fact, the woman I learned human design from says, she is a projector, and she says that projectors should practice doing nothing, absolutely nothing, for at least 30 minutes a day. And I know that may sound crazy, especially if you are a projector who has a family, you have a job, you have commitments, you have hobbies, you have things to do. I would say, to the best of your ability, carve out small bits of time where you really are just doing nothing. And if nothing else, start with 5 minutes. So the biggest reason I want to speak about this topic is because very often when I'm doing readings with projectors, they will have looked up their human design body graph chart. They will know they're a projector, and they've done some preliminary research, and they will read on the internet that they are not supposed to work more than 3 to 4 hours a day. Of course, anybody reading this, if you see something that says, oh, you're not supposed to work more than 3 to 4 hours a day, you're immediately going to think, well, how am I going to pay the bills? How is a person to pay the bills? So what I would like to say is that while that is correct technically, let me explain or give you some hacks to figure out how you can find a quote unquote projector friendly job, but also how can you assess what goes into that 3 to 4 hour bucket, and then what goes into the 6 to 7 hour bucket. So let me talk about that 3 to 4 hour time period and what kind of work goes into that. This requires you as a projector to be your own energy reader. It requires you to have a lot of awareness of self, awareness of how your energy works. Are there times of the day or times of the month or times of the year when you feel a little more energetic than you do at other times? It is also helpful if you as the projector know what kind of projector you are. Are you a classic projector? Are you a mental projector? Are you an energy projector? Having this more detailed information about your human design and your energy type is going to be helpful to you. Okay, so getting back to the 3 to 4 hour work window. What the projector needs to get very good at is understanding the work that you do in a day that feels heavy to you, that feels like it burns you out quickly, that it drains your battery fast, that it feels like heavy work on your shoulders. If you're currently employed right now, or even if you're somebody who's at home, doing your thing, what are the tasks? Look at the tasks, look at the work that you do that are incredibly draining to you and burn you out very quickly. Those are the tasks that you will want to try to limit to 3 to 4 hours a day. A projector friendly job is going to give you the freedom to limit those heavy tasks that feel like a burden and limit them to under 4 hours a day if you can. So I've spent a lot of time in corporate. I know that most of my corporate jobs, I have been able to do that. I'm not a projector energy type, but what I'm getting at is a lot of times in a job, you're given tasks that you need to do. And while there may be deadlines for some tasks, other tasks may have more flexibility, or the timelines are so forgiving that you really have a lot of grace as far as when you're working on things. You have a lot of flexibility as far as when you're working on things. Finding the jobs that allow you a lot of flexibility on when you're having meetings and how many meetings a day you're having, or when you're working on tasks that are very draining for you. In readings with projectors, when I have brought this up and highlighted this as a hack for them figuring out how to manage their day, what I've learned is that for some projectors, and this is where it gets back to knowing yourself very well, for some projectors, sitting in meetings all day is easy breezy and they could do it all day long. For some projectors, sitting in a meeting that's an hour meeting, a 30-minute meeting, or 2 hours of meetings is too much. It's just too much. For some projectors, building a extensive timeline or getting deep into Excel sheets is a heavy task. It is difficult for them to do. For other projectors, this is something that comes super easy to them. So the hack is, how do you build your day so that you're perhaps limiting those heavier tasks to that 2 to 4 hour window? Maybe it's spread out throughout the day. Maybe it's all together in just one chunk, whatever feels like it works for you. And then how can you build out the rest of your schedule so that you're doing tasks that come more easily to you, that you could almost do in your sleep, the tasks that feel lighter. The other thing that's really going to serve you is understanding the niches that you're good at. Understanding the things that you do that come very easily to you. The more you're able to find a job or a career path that allows you to tap in to your unique way of seeing things, to your perspective, to the things that come easily to you, the more easy you will find the work world to be. And think about it. What are the things that you would do for free? What are the things that people come and ask you to help them with? What are the things people come and ask you for advice on? What are the tasks that don't make you feel so depleted? What are the tasks that you could do in your sleep? The more you can find a job or a role or a career path that allows you to do those things, the more that you will find that you are living in a way that feels good to you. While I'm on this subject, I also want to say that the energy types that don't have the defined sacral, that don't have the colored in sacral, the ones that have the white sacral where they're not creating energy when they do what they love to do, I want to be really clear. It's not that you can't be energetic. And if you find that you have a negative story about not being energetic or not having enough energy or being quote unquote lazy or something like that, start to look at the things that you have on your plate. Start to look at the tasks in your job, the nature of the work that you do, because you probably have an issue where you're doing too many things that are heavy to you, that are expending your energy, and you're not doing things that are aligned with your unique gifts, that are not aligned with the niches that you're so good at. For example, I don't know if any of you know Gary Vaynerchuk. He is a influencer on, well, he's on all the channels, and he talks about kindness. He's a successful business person. He has all kinds of stuff going on. But if you watch him, you would never know that he's a projector. And he comes across very energetic. He comes across like he is in flow. If you watched him, you would think he was a generator or a manifesting generator type, but the fact is he's a projector. But you want to know what's happening? They call projectors the new CEOs on the planet, because in a perfect world, if this world were perfectly designed for you as a projector, the way your career life would work is that you would know and develop skills in your niche, the things you see uniquely in your expertise. And you would be the person that sits in the office, and the people come in and say, hey, we're working on this, this, and this. We're trying to make this more efficient. Can you give us some advice? And then you would tell them the advice, how to fix it, how to do it better. And then they would leave the room. And then the next person would come in. That is in a perfect scenario how projectors are designed to operate. And if you look at Gary Vaynerchuk sometimes and you watch his videos, you will see he's sitting at his desk, he's interacting with other people, and other people are coming in. Like half of his podcasts or his YouTube is people coming in and asking his advice and him sharing the things that he sees uniquely. He's living his design. And I've even heard him say in interviews that he can't write emails to save his life. In fact, if he gets an email and it is a long email, he can't handle it. He's like, this is a 3-minute conversation. For him, he's identified that it's easier for him, it's less work, it's less taxing to have conversations, whether via phone or in person, than it is to sit down and write an email, because writing an email and interacting via email is so heavy and it's something he can't even do, but he owns it. Like that's the point, is he owns it. He's not having this negative story about himself and saying, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I can't write emails. And this means I'm an unsuccessful CEO. I'm an unsuccessful business person. He's just saying, I can't do emails. I'm not doing emails this way. And if people want to communicate with me, they need to come into my office or we need to have a conversation. But the point is that there are plenty of examples out there of projectors who are living their design. They appear energetic, they appear like they're getting all the things done, and they are getting the things done, but it's not because they're creating energy, doing what they love to do. Is because they've learned to read their own energy and get very good at understanding what comes so easily to them, what are the things they could do in their sleep, and they've been able to find that job or find that role that in a career path or in a business that allows them to be that, and they're able to live their design and be very, very good at it. Getting back to the beginning when I said that it's very important for projectors to get some alone time and to be in their own aura and to actually do nothing, I want to say that that is very true. I don't know if Gary Vaynerchuk does that, but what I do know is that the projectors in my life have expressed that, for example, just sitting and looking out the window for 20 minutes is a very healing and recharging exercise for them to do. If that is you, if you find the thing that allows you to escape for a minute, get in your own energy and just do nothing for a few minutes and allows you to recharge, absolutely embrace that and find times to incorporate that into your life. Okay. So I think that's all I want to say on that subject. And feel free to disagree with me. Feel free to share an experience that might challenge what I've said here, because again, I'm not coming from a place of having lived experience. I'm coming from a place of having conversations with projectors, hearing what they have shared with me, of witnessing Gary Vaynerchuk live his best life as a projector, and obviously from what I've learned over time. So I hope this was helpful to you in some way. And if you have questions, please let me know.